So moving on to the National Hunt Chase, the 3 mile sixer. It is Royal Pagaille. Very, very, very well back in the last couple of days. Looks like Royal Pagaille is going to go here 15-8, 9-2 Galvin, now trained by Ian Ferguson. It is 8-1 Longhouse Poet, 8-1 Latest Exhibition, 11-1 Next Destination, 12-1 Secret Reprieve, 12-1 Ascaria 10, and 14-1 Bar. Mikey, I think we're going to have to let Diarmuid go first after the last race, are we?
Yeah, but not quite as long. This is the National Hunt Chase, you know what I mean?
just the one chapter here, Diarmuid.
The Royals are on at 9:30. I love the Royal family. You know, I have a thing for Meghan.
And you know what? She likes the redheads too, Mikey.
Yeah, I actually got called Prince Harry a couple of times on my travels. Would you believe that?
I would well believe it, yeah. I'd well believe it, yeah.
Ever since that scene in Suits in the library, sure, how could you not like Meghan Markle?
I've watched that a few times, I won't lie to you. Right, Diarmuid. National Hunt Chase, Diarmuid.
Right, so I'll be very, very quick here. I'm not sure about this field at all. I think it could boil down to the front two, Galvin and Royal Pagaille or Pagaille. I don't believe fully what Royal Pagaille has been doing. I mean, if we're going to take his Haydock run literally, well, then Bristol de Mai should be odds on for the Gold Cup. You know, he beat Potter's Legend that day by, I know it was 16 lengths, but he could have beaten that horse by 100 lengths. But still, Potter's Legend was stuffed next time out by Lord de Mayneel. He's never ran at Cheltenham before. He has to improve for the National Hunt Chase, so he has to improve an awful lot for the Gold Cup. So I would be going for Galvin here, definitely. I just think he has some very strong form, loves the track, we know that. And I know he swapped yards, but I still think Galvin, he's hardy enough and everything else. He's been fresh for this now. I think he'll take a bit of stopping here.
Donn McClean, the National Hunt Chase, is it a race that excites you from a punting perspective?
It did when I thought Coco Beach was going for it, and now that he's probably not, it doesn't anymore.
Well, Coco Beach owes you nothing now. You made a fortune off him in the t&cs.
He's rated 150. He's a pound lower than Galvin. He's got Cheltenham Festival form twice. He stays really well. The National Hunt Chase, to me, that was the race for him. I still don't know why he's not going for it. Like, you're going to run him in a handicap off 150. I think the National Hunt Chase was different. Anyway.
Good to see you've got over it anyway, Don.
Yeah, look, Royal Pagaille, is he definitely going here, yeah?
Look, I think he will. He's 15-8 now, Don. That tells a story.
Yeah, because, you know, he'd have been a worthy Gold Cup contender, I think. So he has to be favoured for this. But look, this has been Galvin's target since last season. Last year, he's got Cheltenham Festival form over shorter. He stays well. And, yeah, we're back to the moving of yards. So that's, again, that'll
the only thing I'll say, okay, if you do fancy Galvin, in my spare time, I'm a journalist for the Racing Post, and I spoke to Ian Ferguson today, and Ian Ferguson bought the horse, broke the horse, pre-trained the horse, and Galvin spends his summers in Ian's as well. So there might just be, I know David's point earlier on the show about Ballyadam and stuff, but just, I'd say that Galvin would be pretty comfortable in the surroundings.
No, it's interesting because...
Sorry, Mike.
It makes no difference.
What?
That he's going to feel comfortable back in the home place.
Is that bullshit, yeah?
Well, but that'll be my opinion, yeah. It would be. Like, you know, that's like the horse telling you, oh, I'm going to run a bit better here. I feel comfortable back in my own box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know it as in, like...
That's like the Meath footballers saying, oh, we'll bring the Dubs to Navan. I'm in my own dressing room here and in my own place. We'll beat him. Not going to happen.
But like that's a valid point. Like, but like put it this way, right? If you said, have you a girlfriend at the minute?
I'm meeting someone, yeah.
Right. So just say, right, if you were with your girlfriend, right, and then you stayed in our house and you wake up the next morning, you go, well, I've stayed here before. I know where the shower is. I know how to make a cup of tea. I can put in a bit of toast. That's grand. But if you just say went out one night and you ended up with somebody just for the first time, and you went back to their house, and you woke up the next morning, you say, I haven't a clue where the kettle is. I don't even know where the kitchen is. I don't know what's going on. So your head is all confused. So Galvin is actually going to be comfortable because he knows where everything is in Ian Ferguson's house.
Yeah. Look, I'd have a different way of thinking about things like that than you would.
We'll come back to Mikey's love life later on in the show.
No, please don't.
Sorry, who did I interrupt there? Donn, sorry, Donn. Donn, who's going to win the National Hunt Chase?
I'd say Royal Pagel, that he's the right favourite. Next Destination's interesting. He's a classy horse. Just like he finished third behind Samcro in the Ballymore a few years ago. So he's got Cheltenham Festival form. He's had some time off. He's gone to Paul Nicholls. He's been good his last 2 runs. He's probably going to have to step up again if he's going to win a National Hunt Chase. But no, like I think Galvin, this has been his time. This has been his race. It's been his target since early in the season, really. And the fact that he's got good Cheltenham Festival form as well. He was only just beaten last season. I think he's been favourite all the way through until Royal Pagel was pitched into the middle of it. But I still think he'll run a big race.
Okay, so Galvin 9-2, a bit of each way value there, Donn.
I think that's fair. I think Cocoa Beach would have been fairer, but sure, we'll go for Galvin in the absence of Cocoa Beach.
Right, Dean Ryan, can we make sense of the longest race at the Cheltenham Festival?
Yeah, I think if Royal Pagel goes here, I know it's 3 miles 6 and a bit, but it's a bit of a certainty. That horse is on a serious roll. That when the switch was kind of flicked since December, it just looks a real machine. I'd be taking a tilt at the Gold Cup. They've got Monkfish for it next year, so why not have a crack with it this time round? I think it's open enough for that one to go there, but it doesn't look like it. Betting is telling you that where it's going to go, and it looks like it's the National Hunt Chase. I think it's going to be very hard to beat. I mean, I know that Galvin's been lined up for this for a long time, but they haven't even popped it back out even since before Christmas. So he was a bit unlucky last year to bump into Imperial Aura, and he'll run a very solid race. I think what you're saying about the flip to Ferguson is a positive. It could have gone anywhere, right? So it's gone somewhere safe and home. I think. No,
Mikey said that doesn't make any difference.
I know, but I like that. If you're a Galvin fan, I think that would have made you feel a little bit better about it for sure. A couple of prices. Longhouse Poet, there was plenty of money around for that over the last couple of weeks. I think it was a decent each way price, not so much now, around 8-1. That definitely improved for the step up the last day. It was good to see that come back and run a nice race. And Dicky Diver could go here. I mean, he wouldn't be the biggest shock in green and gold. Run with horses like Manila Indo, Liz Nagar Oscar. Plenty more to come from that horse, I think. And 14-1, if you were just going to find an each way poke in the race, that's probably where I'd go. But I think Royal Pagel will win. He's just no price anymore.
15-8 Royal Pagel. David Mullins, Lord Royal. Now, here's a horse that I thought had the world at his feet over fences. He's a brilliant jumper when he meets them right. Is he just a little bit soft?
Yeah, he looks a bit soft, Dave. He's a big, huge horse, and he looks like a horse that hasn't filled into himself. Probably 2 weeks still. Maybe he'll always be that way. He looks like a horse that you'd always think when the going gets tough, you'll see the best of him, and he'll always be doing his best work laid on. But it's gone the opposite way for him. And maybe it's just weakness. Wouldn't completely write him off. Could be a nicer horse in the spring. But I couldn't really have him now of what's in the race. I think it's a very strong race.
Yeah, do you like getting in it?
I do. I like the top 2 definitely. Royal Pagel, you can't go on handicap form going into graded horses. They'd never work for me or Champagne West in the Gold Cup. No chance. Brain Power in the Champion Hurdle, no chance. It doesn't work if you ask me, and I stay away from it as a rule. So I'm going to have to go with Galvin. I know his handicap form, but at least it's been proven with Imperial Aura there last year. It's been the plan the whole time, and I don't think Gordon Elliott, I know he doesn't train him now, but I don't think Gordon Elliott gets those things too far wrong.
No, certainly not. Mikey, have you a tip for us?
Galvin, yeah. Gordon Elliott. I just hope. No, look, Ian Ferguson's a great trainer, but
I knew you'd tip him after saying all that. No. I was going to put in. Oh, you're summing me up. You're after getting worse since the last season.
I fancy the horse. Yeah. And
Mikey, he doesn't know where the kettle is.
Yeah. We have a lot of issues in this house. That's just one of many of them, But yeah, I just hope Gordon got his last couple of bits work into him before he goes.
Well, he's gone.
Stop.
He's gone. He's there. He's been there for the last couple of days. But so Galvin, okay, Galvin for you, Mike. So it's pretty much kind of 2 Galvins, 2 Royal Pagels, 3 Galvins for the lads. I can see Lord Royal running quite well, 16-1 at the moment. Right, lads, the 2 years right out in Willie Mullins. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to give you one job, right? One job, right? We're coming on to the best bets on day 1, okay? So I'm going to get the best bet for you on day 1. I just one job, right? Who has the most say with Willie? Would it be Mikey or David? What do you think?
Neither.
No. Well, can I give you a little task?
Huh?
Right, your task for the next 6 or 7 days, right, is to just talk a bit of sense into Willie, right, and tell him it is utterly pointless running St. Sam in the Triumph Hurdle, and tell him that the Boodles, I can guarantee you now, tell him that if he runs St. Sam in the Boodles off a mark of 139, he will have a Cheltenham Festival winner. So if something goes wrong on day one, Appreciate It doesn't win, Fishkin beats Energamine, Sharjah doesn't win the Champion Hurdle, I'm telling you, lads, St. Sam will win the Boodle. So
You know, the only way you can do that, David, the only way you can do that is tell him that he's tell Willie that St. Sam is a certainty for the Triumph.
Is that the truth? Yeah.
That's the only way that might affect his say, because he might look somewhere else because he knows me and Mikey haven't a clue.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I told him.
We tell him the truth. Though. We tell him. The truth.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I said to him last week, I said, Willie, this St. Sam is a good thing off 139. Next thing, the next interview I hear is kind of like, oh, we're thinking it's Triumph for St. Sam. It's like, yeah. But anyway, there's your task for next week, lads. Try and get Willie to run St. Sam in the Boodles because I think if St. Sam runs in the Boodles, I think he's got a cracking chance. So before we move on to day 2, I want the best bet on day 1 at the festival. Mr. Dean Ryan.
Yeah, I'll go with Honeysuckle day 1.
Diarmuid Nolan.
Abracadabras in the Champion Hurdle that the quick pace will stop him being such a monkey.
Can you give us them reasons again for Abracadabras, Diarmuid?
We'll be another 6.5 hour show then, Dave. I think.
Oh, very impressive. Donn McClean, your best bet on day 1.
Abracadabras as well, the champion at the prices.
Oh, geez. Mikey Fogarty, your best bet on day 1.
Is the Boodles on day 1?
Oh, yes. Have you got something for us?
I agree with you.
But you're... well, you have a bit of convincing to do now. You have 7 days to change his mind.
Look, if he runs in that, I fancy him. But Blue Lord each way in the spring.
Excellent. And David Mullins?
Oh, God. I don't know. I see where you're coming from St. Sam, but Honeysuckle, if Henry has her in that sort of form again, unbeatable.
Okay, Honeysuckle for David Mullins. So there you go. That is day 1 of the Cheltenham Festival covered. We're going to go through the handicaps later on in the show. So moving on to day 2.